Hey guys, Adam Shaw here. I saw this fight linked in the comments. Someone had spoken about it, and I was unaware that Enriko Kehl had beaten Allazov. Enriko Kehl's a guy that I think doesn't really get the recognition he deserves. You know, he was a former K1 champion, and he's beat some great opponents. And Allazov obviously has since, gone on to beat Sami Sana, City Chai, and, got that KO win over Superbon. But yeah, I just thought this would be an interesting one, see how Enriko Kehl did it. I'm sorry I didn't post a video yesterday. I was at BKB. Sometimes I work as a judge, so I was judging there. So I'm lucky. I've got like a unique perspective, right? I had over 100 Muay Thai fights. Training for a long time. I coach and I judge. So I'm lucky. I can make these videos where I see what I'm seeing as a judge, but then I see how I'd react as a fighter, and then I'd see as a coach what I'd tell my fighter to do. This is a rematch. Enriko Kehl had lost to Allazov previously, and I think you can kind of tell already that Enriko Kehl's coming in with a game plan. Allazov is obviously very dangerous at like a slightly longer range, and what you see Enriko Kehl doing is just taking that away from him, just coming forward, hands up nice and tight. If you look, you'd think he's countering with his shots, but he's not really. He's just waiting to get hit and then fire straight back. He's really good with his straight left, Enriko Kehl. So you watch, obviously Southpaw versus Orthodox. He kind of has to lead more with his left. I've spoke about this in previous videos. That was nice. Little flurry there by Enriko Kehl. I must say I haven't watched this fight, so but where you get like a live reaction. But yeah, if you're a southpaw fighting an orthodox, you need to lead with your left more. Orthodox, you need to lead with your right more, and you'll get better success than trying to jab with them. So yeah, Enriko Kehl, you'll see him. He'll get hit with like a point, like a straight right or a right kick, and then fire straight back with a straight left punch. He's really smart, crafty, and really active. He's got this German Dutch style. Like there's been some great fighters from Germany. Stefan Lecko was like one of my favourite guys when I was growing up. But yeah, you see, like every time he gets hit, because this is kickboxing rules. So there's no need for Enriko Kehl to kick back. He just needs to score back, you see. So like he'll get kicked and then bang, straight away. It's very hard to be able to get that right kick back and be able to defend in time to defend that straight left. Especially when it's coming from someone like Enriko Kehl that's super sharp. Allazov, similar thing to, when he fought Superbon. It's just how well he mixes it up. He's high and low, punches and kicks. He's a bit all over the place, but he does his switch hitting really well. He can fight orthodox and southpaw. I've done videos on both of these before. You'll see that straight left get through again. Yeah, I've done videos on both of these before. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and you'll see, I've got I'm doing these videos all the time, and like I said, I'm in a pretty unique position where I can, come get my opinion of a fighter, a coach, and a judge. Nice, just caught him off balance there as the kick was coming back. Yeah, see, that was what I just said about bringing the right kick back. It's difficult to do it fast enough to deal with the straight left coming back at you. So one more time. See? Look at them. I mean, there hasn't... Okay, so just there, you'll see Allazov steps forward, and he sort of traps Enriko Kehl's right leg with his left leg, and then just pulls him over his knee, which it's a foul in kickboxing, but they can also call it a foul in Muay Thai too. So you see, he's going to pull him down now with his left hand and kind of pull him over his left knee. See? Yeah, foul. And joint manipulation isn't allowed in Muay Thai, so sometimes they'll pull you up on that. Okay, don't get arrested in this one. Okay. Straight back at it. It's that little variation on technique there. So watch him. He throws a left kick and then does another kick that's like a question mark kick. See? That's really... I just want to watch that one more time because I like how he did that. Boom. Okay, so that was a normal left kick. Now watch it, the variation in attack here. Boom. Just to throw it over the neck. I'm going to put together a couple of coaching videos where I can kind of explain some like smart little techniques that you can utilize in your own training. But one of them is doing things like that where you know that the person's going to counter. So sometimes you make like a slightly bigger movement so that you draw the counter out early. You see Borkow doing it sometimes. He'll throw like, he'll switch kicks. He'll switch his feet to do that left kick that he does. Switch really quick, bang, and get you. Then he might get you again and again. But then he'll do one where he'll switch but slightly slower. And it's just enough to get you to counter early and he'll hit you straight after. And that was what Allazov did. And he'd done it really well. So sometimes it's not as clear as what you see. Sometimes it's what you only see if you're the fighter in there with him. But I think Enriko Kehl's executing a really good game plan here. I mean, the fight's very even, that foul. You're not allowed to do that in kickboxing. What was I saying? Oh, I forgot, it's gone. Yeah, they're back to mixing it up. Oh, yeah, Enriko Kehl's game plan here is just been to take the range away from Allazov. Like, look at him, there's not giving him a second. Yeah, so he's switched to southpaw, but he's obviously more comfortable in orthodox against him. Something that I've seen Allazov do against southpaw opponents is use his left hook to the body. But so when you fight, I'll wait until there's an example of it that I can show you. What was that? Okay, yeah, it didn't really drop him. They might have scored that as a knockdown. I'm not sure. This referee doesn't always score knockdowns, but I don't think that really was a fair knockdown. Allazov has now added this jumping knee to his arsenal. I mean, he might have done it before. Like I said, I haven't watched much of him. But here you'll see like how useful it can be to like just open them up and keep someone pinned against the ropes or the cage. They have to deal with you coming at them, so they have to brace. The only real way that they can do it is to go backwards. So, yeah, and it can get right through the middle of their guard too, you know, if it's timed properly. Okay, yeah, again, you're not allowed to catch and hit in kickboxing rules. Is it low? Just the tip. Just got the tip. You can see that Enriko Kehl's not too scared to wear these kicks on his arm against Allazov. He's choosing to sort of take them and then fire straight back. I don't think he'd do that against like a Yodsen climb. Allazov for sure has power in his kicks, but you can see the way that he throws his attacks. His kicks are more to set up his hands. Nice. So again, that's that like little variation in attack. So what he did there was kick him across the body, and then kind of just off pace. You wouldn't see it unless you're Enriko Kehl. But then the next kick came around just a little bit slower, and it was just so that you could take out that leg. What? So to the body, look. See, he just did it just a little bit slower, so Enriko Kehl would go to block it. That's smart. I like that. There's a lot more to his style than people realise. Wow. Yeah, something I was going to say earlier, but I haven't seen another example of it, is Allazov does this really well against he's orthodox against a southpaw opponent, is get to the like lead hook to the body. Now the way that he does it is to throw it as an uppercut, really short. Like he's got no range between him and Enriko Kehl. Like there's no distance. So what he does is get his hand right underneath his elbow. Just to, like the power's not going to be as powerful as it would be against an orthodox opponent, where he's got all of their body to get the torque into it. But from here, he can just generate enough power just to, maybe knock the wind out of him a little bit. Let's see. Both of them are super fit. And that they haven't stopped. I think this has been an even fight. There's not really much in it. I'd say that maybe I get really confused with the kickboxing thing. Like when this is the same referee that was in with Superbon and Allazov, and he didn't count at Superbon at all when he clearly got dropped. So I don't know whether they don't count in this or something. I get a bit confused. But I think maybe someone scored that as a knockdown in the second round. Again, that knee. Nice. Yeah, there's been a lot of good work, and there's definitely an argument for both sides to have won. We all know that Enriko Kehl gets this one, but close. It's just like the way that he's executed the game plan. I don't think Superbon would ever be able to do this to Allazov. I don't think he has this in his arsenal. So he needs to find his own way of being able to take that range away. And I think, like, if they do rematch, I think he's going to have to utilise his front kicks a lot more. And I would suggest using a lot of front kicks and knees to the body, try and drain his energy away, and maybe even kicks to the rear leg. Like, just because he likes to switch so much, you can take away that a little bit by kicking the rear leg instead. It's a bit harder to defend. It's harder to defend a rear leg kick than a kick to your front leg. I mean. Good fight. Good fight. Enriko Kehl won the first one, lost the first one, and then came back and beat him in this one. But I think it was just a well executed game plan. It wasn't a super clear victory though, was it? I mean, Allazov, he's so good, but I think Enriko Kehl here has kind of really found the blueprint to beating him. It's just whether or not fighters can do that. They've got to go through a lot of fire to be able to keep him on his back foot like that and take away that range. But Enriko Kehl did it here, and I'm sure that other fighters will be able to do that. It's just I don't think Superbon's that kind of fighter, and I think he's probably a bit long in the tooth now. Like, he's a very established fighter already. So, it's a few hundred fights in. To make those kind of changes is difficult. So he's got to use his own tool set to be able to kind of do that to him. And I think that's going to be with front kicks and knees to the body, slow him down a little bit, and like I said, with the low kicks. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please, consider liking and subscribing. I do a lot of these. Like I said, I found this one in the comments. Someone had suggested. So, yeah, I mean, if you do any fights that you want me to react to, or maybe even your own fights or training videos, just put it in the comments, or I've got my socials in the description. Okay, I'll speak to you soon, guys.